following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future. Watch in the near future for our exclusive, extensive coverage of the Summer of Tokyo, coming soon to Retro Sports Network. And good afternoon. It's been a few days since you and I spent some time together, and this is going to be another relatively short week, but we will bring the 1978 American or baseball replay back into focus this week, and you get 5 games next week, as we'll be able to go Monday through Friday at noon. So game today, game tomorrow, game Thursday if you're watching live, and at the moment I have games all set and fired to go on YouTube through July 8th. The wife seems to have a birthday coming up, and she really would like to, as much as she would like to not spend time with me, she really does want to spend time with me. So that's the plan. You get the Royals and the Orioles today. You get the Pirates and the Phillies tomorrow. And then you get the Brewers and the Red Sox on Thursday. And then we'll go with a full 5-game week. And then the week after is kind of catch as catch can, because the wife is on vacation. Imagine that. It's summertime and she's an essential worker. So she gets to take some vacation time. So some days we'll be with you and some days we won't be. I'm not sure what we'll do. But for the next 2 weeks anyway, it's baseball today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And baseball all next week. 78 roaring right back. It's the 9th of August next. As Retro Sports Network, the home of the Summer of Tokyo, presents Major League Baseball Replay 1978. Tonight from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, it's the 64-47 Baltimore Orioles, first place in the American League East, against the 61-48 Kansas City Royals, first place in the National League West, American League West. Yes, we switched the leagues around. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes, and wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Okay, now on to the ballgame part of the program. Scott McGregor, looking for win number 11, goes against Larry Gura and the Kansas City Royals. The Royals are in first place by the hair of their chinny chin chin, and the Baltimore Orioles are in first place over the New York Yankees and Milwaukee Brewers over the hairs of their collective chinny chin chins. Is this a ALCS preview? We don't know. It could be, or may not. It's wishy-washy. Kind of like, well, you know. And a good afternoon as Scotty McGregor takes his warm-up tosses. McGregor is, don't run. That's the button you want to hit. Yep, McGregor is 10-9 on the year with a 3.72 ERA. Making his 22nd start, already hit the complete game total. Against the Royals, he is making his second start of the year. 0-1 with a 3.38 ERA in 8 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs all earned, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Throws the fastball at 85 and is a fly ball pitcher. His last time out was a complete game effort against the Yankees on the 9th, or the 5th rather. 9 innings, 11 hits, 2 runs all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. So overall, 164 and 2/3 innings, 168 hits, 72 runs, 68 earned, 16 homers. He walked 36 and struck out 79 so far. Yep, my wife is a firecracker. Her birthday's on the 4th, but she was born in Germany, or West Germany to be exact. And so technically it's the 3rd and the 4th. And as I say to her, and she punches me in the face, honey, you look great for 94. So yeah, in real life, these two teams are separated by 2 games in 1978. And that would be, no, she's American. Her father was in the Army. A Vermonter, just like most of my family. But she just happened to, her father was in the Army when she was born. So here's a lineup that McGregor will face, and it's kind of a depleted lineup for the Royals. Oh, gosh. He was stationed in Wurzburg. Wurzburg. Better known to most people in Texas as the home and birthplace of one Dirk Nowitzki. Here's the lineup the Royals will put out there. Freddie Patek will lead off at short. Joe's Deb is in left field. He'll bat second. Hal McRae, the DH, will hit third. Al Cowens in right will clean up. Amos Otis in center field will bat fifth. Wathan is behind the plate. He'll hit sixth. Pete Lecoq takes the center square at first base. He'll bat seventh. UL Washington at second will bat eighth. And Terrell is at third. He'll bat nine. So no Frank White and no George Brett to face the lefty Scotty McGregor. I remember more for Wurzburg beer. Okay. That doesn't surprise me, being German and all. In the outfield, Mora, a 5 and a 4 in left. Lopez, a 5 and an 8 in center. Kenny Singleton, a 6 and a 7 in right. What year was that, Lorenzo? DeCinces, a 7 at third. Belanger is a 10 at short. Dower, a 6 at second. Eddie Murray, a 6 at first. And Dave Skaggs on the mound, or on behind the plate, rather, a 4 and a 7. McGregor, an 8 with a .961 fielding percentage. Freddie Patek steps to the plate at 250, 3 homers and 34 RBI. We play for the bunt. And the pitch to Patek is a ground ball to Dower over to Murray, 1 away. Really? So you were over there, whereabouts in Germany? You were over there when my wife was born, when her father was stationed over there. The Ruhmeshalle in Munich is the original Hall of Fame, by the way. Hall of Fame for Great Americans at NYU was modeled off it. And it turned into being an inspiration for the Baseball Hall of Fame. It is a small world. Mainz, Wiesbaden. Okay, were you stationed over there, or over for work, or a honey, or what was the deal? Joe's Deb, who looks like he had a few honeys in his day at 250. No homers and 8 Army time. Okay, Army time. So, yes, her father was a mechanic. As it turns out. Pitched as Deb is strike 3. McGregor got him. He swung on and missed on a 1-2 pitch. And so, as Big Clue says above, it really is a small world. Hal McRae at 263. 7 homers and 59 RBI. McGregor from the wind, and McRae is hit by the pitch. An 0-2 way inside. And that'll bring up Cowens with 2 out. 287, 3 homers, and 52 RBI. All right. Yes, Big Clue. If I did not treat his daughter right, he was going to fix me. Absolutely. Lorenzo's doing the Oakland Oaks, by the way, getting a lot of fan attention from the viewers on YouTube. How are you doing with those? Paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne were sent to Germany during what they called a levy, or levy, a sort of draft for those already in the service. Awesome. So what's the record for Oakland? Cowens, I gave you the numbers. McRae on first, 2 out. Pitch to McGregor. There goes McRae to throw down to Dower, and Hal has it stolen, number 12. So Cowens has an 0-1 count and a stolen base for McRae. Light rain, 86 degrees, a warm night here in Baltimore. This 9th day of August, 1978. The Oaks, by the way, are 13-8 in their replay. Pitch to Cowens, runner goes, line drive to third, DeCinces there, and that will retire the side. The Royals get no runs, no hits, and no errors. Half an inning in the books. Kansas City, nothing. Baltimore coming up. And Larry Gura is only 5-4. This is game 110 for them. He went 16-4 in the real replays at an ERA of 3.29. The ABA has just called and said that Lorenzo was being a touch optimistic and that they were really 11-8. But they could win their next two to go 13-8 by the time that you watch this on the tube. Gura, well, he's only made 13 starts. He's got 13 more to go. That makes it feel a little bit better. Throws a slow fastball at 84 and is a fly ball plus pitcher. He has not faced the Orioles this year. His last start was against the Blue Jays on the 5th. Same error again, Ronnie. He went the distance 9 innings, allowed 5 hits and an unearned run to get the win. He walked 1 and struck out 3. So in 109 and a third innings. And so Kansas City will get him a ton down the stretch. He's allowed 102 hits, 10 homers, 47 runs, 40 earned. He's walked 35 and struck out 33. And future Royals and Cubs manager Jimmy Fry is coaching at first for the Orioles. And what Earl Weaver doesn't know is that Jimmy's got his lighter. Mark Belanger will lead off for Baltimore. Why? Because I guess somebody has to. He'll play short. Rich Dower is at second. He'll bat second. Kenny Singleton at right hits third. Eddie Murray cleans up at first. Doug DeCinces at third will bat fifth. Lee May, the DH, will hit sixth. Mora in left field will go seventh. Carlos Lopez in center will hit eighth. Skaggs behind the plate will bat ninth. And McGregor on the mound with 18 pitches. Big Jim Hadnot back on the court for Oakland. Yeah, Cal Ripken Sr. in the third base coach. Big Clue was really into 78. Orioles drafted Cal Ripken right out of high school. In the second round. Who'd they draft in the first round? So defensively for the Royals, Zdeb is a 4 and 2 in left, Otis a 5 and a 6 in center, and Al Cowan's a 9 and an 8 in right. Terrell is a 3 at third, Patek a 6 at short, UL Washington is a 3 at second, not great range but decent fielding percentage, and Pete Lecoq is 6 at first. John Wathan a 5 and a 5 behind the plate, and left the Gura, the lefty, an 8 with a 9.83 fielding percentage. Belanger at 221, 16 doubles and 22 RBI. First pitch from Gura is a ground ball to Lecoq. Takes it to the bag, 1 out. Robert Boyce, another high school third baseman out of Deer Park in Cincinnati. And so Lorenzo bought the 63 season and promptly played a quick exhibition game against the 75 Reds. Dower at 255, 3 homers and 29 RBI. Right back to Gura, over to Lecoq, 2 out. Boyce would never make it higher than single A and was out of pro ball before the age of 23. Ouch. Ouch. Here's Singleton. Kenny at 281, 19 homers and 47 RBI. Pitch from Larry is in the shallow center. Otis rides the Schwinn, dives, and makes a great catch. And that will be the third out. No runs, no hits, no errors. We played 1. It's the Royals and Orioles. No score. Otis, Wathan, and Lecoq due up for the Royals in the second. Amos at 285, 16 homers, and 48 RBI. They must have known, Big Clue, because it is odd to take consecutive high school third baseman in the first 2 rounds, that Ripken could play short. They must have known that. Just because, his father's a coach. And normally when you take a relative, what round was Mike Piazza drafted in, the 42nd or something like that? McGregor deals. Otis line drive to third. DeCinces leaps and makes the catch, 1 out. Brings up Wathan at 413, 9 doubles and 9 RBI. Koufax and Billingham, the game went 11 innings, Lorenzo says, with Koufax pitching 10. He struck out 9 and walked 1, and the game ended with Gilliam Doubling home Tommy Davis for a Dodger 1-0 win. Paranoski got the win. I'm going to play a best of 7 soon. I would think Drysdale and Koufax would get you 4 wins. Who was the third starter on that staff? It wasn't Osteen yet, was it? Not in this game, but Sal Bando's son Chris, was in my 82 replay, was drafted by the Indians a dozen spots ahead of Ripken that summer. I'm sure a lot of head scratchers were drafted ahead of Ripken that summer. Bill Singer. Pitch from McGregor. And there's a ground ball, base hit right side. First base runner for anybody. Or first base hit for the Royals, rather. As Dower got a late jump. Here's Lecoq, Pete at 330. 2 homers and 17 RBI on a 6-game hitting streak. He gets to 10, he gets a brand new Chevy Nova. And a $500 gift certificate from the Spiegel catalog of Chicago, Illinois. Pitch to Lecoq is a ground ball to Belanger. Flips it to Dower for 1. Over to Murray. Should be 2, and it is. Oh, Johnny Padres. Okay. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. The Royals strand 1. We go to the bottom of the second. Kansas City, nothing. Baltimore, nothing. All right, standings as we resume. The Royals have won 2 straight. They're 61-48. They hold a 1-game lead over Texas and a 3-game lead over California. Minnesota's won 2 straight. They're now at 6.5 back. In the East, Baltimore has won 8 of 10 in 2 straight, and they lead the Brewers by half a game. Brewers are in New York tonight to play, and the Red Sox are 8.5 back. National League, the Dodgers have won 2 straight. They're still 3.5 over Cincinnati. Houston and San Diego 8 back. And in the East, Philadelphia by 2.5 over Pittsburgh. So Murray, 297, 20 homers and 80 RBI. Pitch from Larry is a fly ball to right. Cowens, 1 out. As teammates in rookie ball in the fall of '78 at Bluefield, Ripken played short while Boyce played third. Ripken was promoted to Double-A in '79, where he alternated between third and short. See, I think that's why you did it. Boyce spent another year at Bluefield and was converted to first not long thereafter. I think the Dodgers are still in the driver's seat in the West. I know Lorenzo's sweating it out, but I really do think that that's the best thing. The Sensei at 245, 20 homers and 62 RBI. 1 out. Ground ball to Lecoq. Takes it to the bag himself. 2 out. So baseball for you today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And then we'll have a full 5-game week next week, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern. Lee May at 249. Again, 20 homers and 70 RBI. The Orioles can pound. Ground ball base hit left side. So the first hit for the Birdies. And that's a 2-out single for Andres Mora at 185. 6 homers and 15 RBI. It is favorable. They're done with the Pirates unless they play in the playoffs. Next time we have them on, which will be next week, we'll show you. They get the Braves a bunch more times. I don't think they blow it. I think they're probably the safest of the 4. Famous last words. Mora at 185, 6 homers and 15 RBI. Oh, by the way, with Robinson fired from his managerial stint in Cleveland, Frank Robinson is a hitting coach. Wow. No egos there. Okay, I won't mention the Pirates to you, but you'll see them tomorrow at noon right here on Retro Sports Network. Pitch to Mora is a base hit right center field. May will scamper to third, Mora on first, and the Orioles have runners on the corners and 2 out for Carlos Lopez. At 169, 2 homers and 6 RBI. And there's a ground ball to Patek. Has to go the long way over to first, and Lopez is retired. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. No errors. After 2, it's still Kansas City nothing, Baltimore nothing. Because, you need more batting in your life. That's why, Lorenzo. The Royals hitting coach is the infamous Charlie Lau. When would he go to the Dodgers? By the way, our latest follower, M. Martin, 68, 2004. Or 682-004. Anyway, he followed 5 days ago. He joins the Poncho Dog and Henry Ford 313, better known as Mungo Jerry, in the summertime. Yeah, so we start the third. UL Washington at 299 and 10 RBI. And line drive, Murray's there. Yet the followers are still there. We're down a bunch of subs, but the followers are still there. And a reminder, if you have Amazon Prime, you can attach your Twitch account to it, and you don't have to pay me a dime out of your pocket. Jeff Bezos will do that himself. He'll write me the check personally. Terrell at 145 and 5 RBI. Orioles playing for the bunt. A little ground ball to DeCinces, over to Murray, across the way, 2 out. So McGregor went 15 and 13 in real life. If the Orioles are going to do this, he and Palmer have got to do their jobs. So 9 batters, 36 pitches for Scotty. 2 2/3 innings, a hit and a strikeout. And Patek is 0 for 1. 2 out. Top of the third, no score. And he drops the bunt, foul. Skaggs will pick it up. And the count is 0-2. So McGregor wipes his hand on the side of his pants. Just a light rain here. He drops a 2-out bunt down and will get the single. How about that? Murray picked it up on the grass. He was waiting for it to roll foul, and it found the green stuff instead. Fox Sports has been airing reruns of the 78 All-Star Game the last several days. Tons of stars, yep. So Joe's Deb struck out his first time up. Throw to first. Patek is back. Freddie has stolen 27 on the year. There's a base hit right center field. Patek will go to third. The Royals have runners on the corners and 2 out for McRae, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. Ground ball to third. DeCinces' only play is to first. McRae can run, but he cannot hide. He is retired on the bang banger. And that's it. So the Royals strand 2. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Kansas City nothing, Baltimore nothing. And so Dave Skaggs at 108 and 3 RBI to face Gura to start the inning. Ballpark playing big. Kind of average for the hitters. -1 for the lefties, -6 for the righties. Home runs, it's playing big. -14 for the lefties, -20 for the righties. Pitch to Skaggs is a ground ball, base hit right side. So the third hit for the Orioles. And that'll bring up Belanger, who's 0 for 1. Gura, 9 batters, 2+ innings, 29 pitches. 3 hits, and that's it. That was an ABC game, and so you get to hear the dulcet tones of Howard Cosell. When the wife's not around, I'll watch YouTube videos on the big screen through my PlayStation. You make it sound so mysterious. Popped up. A rainmaker. Washington by the bag at second, 1 out. Rich Dower is 0 for 1. It's always weird. Sometimes they'll go through and see how people watch my stuff on YouTube, and to put this on their big screen TVs is always a blast. It just means you don't have to watch on the laptop with the earbuds. She might enjoy this. You said she was a softball player, right? Pitch to Dower is a ground ball to Washington. Might be two. Patek for one. Over to first. And that's a bad throw. And so Dower is safe. That's technically a fielder's choice. You can never assume the double play. And so it's not an error by Washington. Or Patek. I noticed the comments. Oh, yes. Her coach was Mike Trout's dad. Wow. When Mike was still in diapers. I saw if he hits 10 home runs this season, he'll top 300 in his career. That's awesome. Here's Singleton. He's 0 for 1. Wonder what she did a commercial for. Miss Basinger. There's a line drive to third. Terrell's there, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Birdie, Strand, runner. They've both left 3 on after 3. No score. Big Clue's father-in-law was at Trout's wedding. Friend of the bride's family, obviously. Oh, the bride's family, okay. Still waiting for your autograph. I'm still waiting for that phone call from Taylor Swift, too, but it isn't coming. Al Cowens is 0 for 1. McGregor starts the 4th. Right back to Scotty. Throws it over to first for the out. So 1 out for Otis, who's 0 for 1. Stay away from woke chicks. Hey, I'm 48. I only live once, right? It was a shampoo. Lorenzo goes right for the ad. Body on tap shampoo. So was it worth it? Was it worth it? Pitch to Otis. Popped up left side. Belanger on the grass. Almost in foul territory. Makes the catch. 2 out. For Wathan, who singled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. He's hitting .418 on the year. McGregor deals. Up the middle. Dower by the bag. Over to first for the out. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still scoreless in Baltimore. Yep, Belanger leading off is kind of wasteful. Yes. Not quite as egregious as hitting Dave Concepcion 3rd, but right up there. And Lorenzo enjoyed himself for the 30 seconds. Here's Eddie Murray, who's 0 for 1. And there's a base hit up the middle. Then Patek got a late jump on the dive. And that's how the inning starts. Here's DeCinces. He's 0 for 1. Doesn't DeCinces in that picture look a bit like Randy Johnson? With a suntan? Well, they wasn't going to do a 60-second ad. Ball 4. Without the mullet. That's true, yes. I don't know if mullets were a thing in the late 70s. Here's Lee May. He singled his first time up. So runners on first and second. Nobody out. The Orioles threatening. Yes, DeCinces was underrated. Didn't win a World Series with Baltimore, I don't think, unless he was there in 70. Of course, he would have been behind Robinson. And, of course, was in California for California's less than stellar playoff record. Pitch to May. Struck him out. Gura got him on an 0-2 swinging. At 85, 1 out. For Andres Mora, who singled his first time up. So again, runners on first and second, 1 out. Line drive to second. Washington throws to first. DeCinces back. So 2 out. California's less than stellar playoff record in baseball was a pioneer. Now they have a less than stellar record in all sorts of endeavors. Send your cards and letters to. Lopez is 0 for 1. Ooh, Lorenzo not very happy with me right now. Tell you why in a second. There's a line drive to Washington, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit. The Orioles strand 2. The offenses haven't woken up yet. After 4, no score. And at halftime, the Denver Rockets lead the Oakland Oaks 58-45. Ouch. That team, of course, would move to San Diego and then to Houston. Lecoq is 0 for 1. I don't remember saying anything to have politics. Yeah, you got to have pitching, and the Orioles have it. A little early for Ralph Sampson. Pitch to Pete. Right back to McGregor. Over to first for the out. Here's Washington. He's 0 for 1. The toothpick playing second. 1 out. Top the 5th. Terrell to follow. Ground ball to Belanger. Over to Murray. 2 out. For Terrell, who's 0 for 1. McGregor at 61 pitches. About to go halfway here. And Jerry sends this one deep to right. Singleton runs back. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. A cloudy, rainy day here in Burlington. Halfway home, Kansas City and Baltimore are scoreless on 34th Street. I was about to switch it to the recap and realize there were no runs in the ballgame. Ain't hard to have it. If this game is about as 1970s as polyester suits and pet rocks. Look at all the pitching to contact. 9 combined innings and 2 strikeouts. Gura 4 innings, 4 hits. And McGregor 5 innings and 3 hits. Dave Skaggs has a single. He's 1 for 1. 3 hits for the Royals, 4 for the Orioles. The Royals have left 3 on, the Orioles 5. Strike 3. Gura got him. A 2-2. Check swing, strike 3. Yep, both teams 7 hits for scattered among those 9 innings. Both teams are cruising right along. That brings up Belanger, who's 0 for 2. Gura threw 4 1/3 at 60 pitches. 18 batters, 4 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. It's there. I'll show you. It's a W. It doesn't say BB. It says W and K. So 1 walk for Gura and no walks for McGregor. I don't mind a universal DH. Then again, I'm an American League fan. It's been a part of my life for my entire life. Unless you want to talk the 72 season when I was in diapers and sucking on bottles. I don't remember a lot about the 72 season. Just saying that. Pitch to Belanger is strike 3. Gura got him on a 1-2 fastball. 2 out. For Dower, who's 0 for 2. Phillies and Pirates tomorrow from Philadelphia. And then tentatively we have the Brewers and the Red Sox on Thursday before we take the long weekend for the wifey's birthday. Dower into left field. Deb will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, Kansas City and Baltimore are matching bagels. So McGregor threw 18 batters, 5 innings, 63 pitches, 3 hits, and a strikeout. Rumor has it that Jerry Koosman's uniform number will be retired by the Mets this year. I hope he's healthy enough to be able to go. Koosman certainly deserves to have his number retired. Playing for the bunt, Patek can do it. He's 1 for 2. Singled us last time up. Line drive to Dower, 1 out. Nice play. That is pretty incredible. The Mets have not retired any numbers from their 86 team. Not Keith Hernandez, which you would think. I mean, he's still working with the club. Gary Carter, I mean, 8 should be up there. Family would appreciate it. Howard Johnson, Davy Johnson, yeah, maybe. Strawberry, he didn't leave on very good terms, to be honest. And if they can keep Doc Gooden straight long enough to do that, yeah. I would say Carter and Keith and Gooden. Carter, because he's in the Hall of Fame. Keith, team co-captain, longest playing career, longest broadcaster, and he is a Mets icon. I love watching him. You know, it'd be cool, since you're really not supposed to do any games on the road. Oh yeah, Davy Johnson's number 5 won't go because David Wright wore it. Some teams will do that for 2 players. The Yankees retired 8 twice. Stebb is 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. Ground ball to first. Murray's there for the out. And now, who did the Yankees retire 8 twice for? Hal McRae is 0 for 1. Actually, the Yankees have retired 42 twice. McRae has a stolen base, was hit by a pitch and is 0 for 1. And we got a rain delay on retiring the numbers twice. So we had a 30-minute wait here. And so McGregor's pitch count is dropped to 95 and Gura's to 90. So a half-hour rain delay. We hope you enjoyed a special edition of Howard Cosell's tribute to Curly. On Rain Delay Theater. Those on the West Coast got some tape-delayed coverage of the Denver Rockets and the Oakland Oaks. McRae was at the plate when the rain hit. And now the skies have cleared. It's 80 degrees. I don't know. I think that's pretty okay. If you find it absurd, you're certainly entitled to. The Dodgers, of course, should have retired 42. In the left center, Lopez has it for the out. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. I'm sure the Dodgers have done it. After 5.5, Kansas City and Baltimore are no score. The NHL retired 99. And there was all sorts of talk after Kobe Bryant's passing that 8 would be there. JD Dutch, how are you? Just having a pretty good day. Thanks for catching us live. Singleton is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. There's a deep drive to left. Stebb has it for the out. 1 out for Murray with a single. He's 1 for 2. All right, that's a good question that you asked me, Clue. What extent should a franchise honor its past in another city, as in the Expo years and for Washington? Well, you know, the Twins have honors for Walter Johnson, who obviously didn't pitch in Minneapolis. And I'm sure the Lakers have George Mikan's number retired. The Phillies have a nice section for the A's. Well, there weren't many Browns to honor outside of George Sisler, right? There are, along the honor wall at Nat Stadium, there is something for Andre Dawson and Gary Carter. I don't mind it. I'd be kind of, but I covered the Nats for a couple years. You know, living up here in the Northeast and seeing him down there, to me, it's kind of a continuation. Now, when baseball returns to Montreal, whether it's Tampa or an expansion team, you know, I'd like to see Dawson and Carter's numbers retired. Yuppie, by the way, went to the Canadiens and is their mascot. Pitch to Murray is a fly ball to right. Back goes Cowens. That's off the wall. Murray's going to get 2. He's going to hold there, and that's a 1-out double for DeCinces, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Oakland, for example, has never retired a Philadelphia A's number, not Grove, Simmons, Fox, or Cochran, and you can make the argument that they did it. But yet, yeah, you know, it's really up to the team. Pitch to DeCinces is a race hit left side. Murray will round third. He's gonna run on the Noodle Arms Deb. The throw's going to the plate. Watson puts down the tag. Not in time. 1-0 Baltimore. I think you should honor your franchise's history. I think that it makes sense for Cleveland, the Browns, to do that. Here's May, 1 for 2. Lee has singled and struck out. DeCinces on first. 1-0 Orioles, bottom of the 6th. Struck him out. Gurra got him. A 2-2 right there at the knees on an off-speed pitch. And 2 out. I think it's nice if you honor your franchise's history. Like I said, George Mikan's number's been retired by the Lakers, and he never played in L.A. Here's Mara, 1 for 2. Yeah. Pitch. There's a fly ball to the left. Zeb is there. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. The Orioles finally get through with a run. On 2 hits and no errors, we go to the 7th. 1-0 Baltimore. Here's Cowens. He's 0 for 2. Otis and Watson to follow. McGregor, remember, with the rain delay of 30 minutes, and we, like I said, we hope you enjoyed Howard Cosell's tribute to Curly from the Three Stooges. Gurra's day should be done. Pitch to Cowens is a fly ball to right. Singleton running back there. Makes the catch, 1 out. Amos Otis is 0 for 2. No one did answer who the Yankees retired 8 for twice. Pitch to Amos. Here's a line drive, left center. Lopez makes the catch for the 2nd out. Rode the Schwinn hard. Yep, Berra and Bill Dickey. Absolutely. Here's Watson. John, 1 for 2. McGregor. Won't be able to go the distance because of the rain delay, which is too bad. He's throwing a 3-hitter. And so the full pack is warming up in the pen for Baltimore. Pitch to Watson. Ground ball to Belanger. Throws it across the way to Murray. And that will retire the side. Steve Bignori coming in to pitch for the Royals. Stretch time here in Baltimore. And the Birdies lead at 1-0. Sign that organist to a contract. Be able to play 2 songs at once. Final from Oakland, 112.99. The Oaks fall to 11-9. I don't know if it's Mignori or Mignori. Mr. Forsberg, that's your department. How is it? Anyway, he's 4-6 with 2 saves and a 4.06 ERA. This is his 30th game of the year. Throws the fastball at 82, not a ground ball, not a fly ball pitcher. Against the Birdies, 3 games, 3 innings, and a strikeout. That's it. So he's been good. Not gift wrapping him to Kansas City later, though. Oh, that's right. You still doing 70? He last pitched on the 28th of July. He's got plenty of rest. Pitched against the Red Sox, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and struck out 2. So 44 to 3rd innings, 41 hits, 3 homers, 21 runs, 20 earned. He has walked 19 and struck out 20. He just finished the 70 season, did Big Clue. So Ming, as in Dynasty, Mingori. Let's all observe a moment of silence for the death of the 1-out lefty reliever. All right, El Guapo moment done. Lopez is 0 for 2. McGregor right at 95 pitches. So we'll see. Line drive right back to Stevie Wonder, and there's 1 out. El Guapo, who called you? Okay, Mr. Garces. Here's Dave Skaggs. He's 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. That's what your wife used to call me. Did you lose some weight there, Mr. Lorenzo? Ball 4. Now it's El Feo Maldito. What's Feo mean? I know what Maldito is. Belanger is 0 for 3. 1 out. Ugly. The ugly dam. Nope. A Rich Garces reference. You won't hear that in a Fortnite stream. No, I guarantee you won't. Not even by Rich Garces himself. Pitch to Belanger is popped up. Patek by the bag at second. That's a rainmaker shot, and there's 2 out. Here's Dower. He's 0 for 3. Lecoq, Washington, and Terrell in the 8th for Kansas City. Mingori's pitch, and there's a ground ball to 3rd. Terrell across the way to Lecoq, and that will retire the side. We go to the 8th. It's still Baltimore 1, Kansas City nothing. I had many friends nicknamed Ugly. There were not many pageant winners. I was Ugly Little Jucket in college for sure. That was my nickname. So in Big Clues, Cleveland Indians replay finished 78-84, 2 games above real life. However, the Cubs won the 70 NL East and reached the World Series before losing to Baltimore. My nickname in college was Twinkie. Oh, but I will ask, why was that, Big Clue? Why were you called Twinkie? Lecoq is 0 for 2. Line drive to first. Murray makes the catch. That's right. You don't have to answer. You're going to get hounded until you do. UL Washington is 0 for 2. McGregor. Toes was next. Drops a bunt, foul. So the count is 0-2. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Dower over to first, and McGregor maybe can get through this. 2 out for Jerry Terrell, who's 0 for 2. Okay, on the college radio station, the manager picked handles for all of us. On air, folks. He picked Twinkie for me because they played for the bunt. Here's the pitch. Popped up center field. Lopez rides the bike, will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 8th, 1-0 Baltimore. On spring break, I would stop at the Hostess store and grab a couple boxes of Twinkies to take with me on vacation, so I'm the snack guy. Oh, come on. That's not bad at all. A little trivia about Jerry Terrell. He was the only member of the Players Union to vote against the strike in 1981. Wow. That's good to know, Mr. Dutch. Here's Singleton, Kenny 0 for 3, Murray and DeCinces, and May if anybody should reach. Right back to the pitcher. McNorrie throws over to Lecoq, 1 out. So Steve can go 45 pitches. You did get a 1-week suspension after Pledge Week that fall when a sorority girl was interviewed live on the air and said she had one question for the Twinkie up in the booth. She asked, "Are you really cream filled?" You should have said, "No, I took a shower just before I got down here." Only Twinkies and cockroaches will survive the coming apocalypse, and Cher, because there's nothing natural about her either. Oh, that's funny. Here's Murray. He is single, doubled, scored. I bet you did. Yeah, wow. Sean, that's right. Wow. I hope you got a couple dates out of that. Of course, that's what she was aiming for. Hopefully, you didn't feed her a Dolly Madison Raspberry Zinger instead. Pitch to Murray is a fly ball, left center field. Otis is there for the out, 2 away. Brings up DeCinces, who's 1 for 2. Has walked and driven in a run. As opposed to being middle-aged and foolish. Well, that's just me. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Royals. They've left 3 on. I know what she was aiming for. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors, and 7 left on for Baltimore. Pitch to DeCinces, struck him out. A 1-2, swing and a miss, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 8, Baltimore 1, Kansas City nothing. And so McGregor has done his work. And now it'll be the full pack, Don Stanhouse. I wish someone did that to me in college, Mr. Clue. Stanhouse 8-3 with 6 saves and an ERA at 2.20. This is his 28th appearance. In 4 outings against the Royals, he's gone 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 4. He has a loss and an ERA of 4.91. And as JT Dutch points out in the chat, Stan, the man unusual. His last time out was last night against the Blue Jays. He went an inning, or full pack unusual, yes, and allowed a hit. So 41 innings, 41 hits. No home runs. He does not allow one in real life. 13 runs, 10 of them earned. He has walked 24, struck out 25. That fastball tops out at 96, and he will keep the ball on the ground. Patek, Zdeb, and McRae here in the 9th. DeCinces and Murray play for the bunt. Patek is 1 for 3. Ground ball to third. DeCinces on the line throws it to Murray, 1 out. So all the scores after the ball game. Joe Zdeb, 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Okay, here's some food for thought. Okay. And Steve Braun is going to pinch hit. Computer says that was the wrong move, but the computer made the move. 281 for Steve. It's righties at a 271 clip. No homers and 10 RBI. 1 out. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to third. The second verse, same as the first. DeCinces to Murray, 2 out. The 4 greatest outfielders in National League history: Mays, Aaron, Robinson, and Musial, right? I would have too, but the computer's running the Royals. You could make an argument for Clemente. Dave Parker played long enough, you can make an argument for him. McRae, the last chance for the Royals. Hurry up, because we're about to finish. Hal is 0 for 2. Got hit by a pitch and stole a base. So Stanhouse trying to get a 1-2-3 inning here. And the Orioles to 65 and 47. Ground ball to third. The third verse is the same as the first, and the Orioles win 1-0. So a 3-hitter for McGregor and Stanhouse, and that's it. All 4 of them were retired and living at the same time for 38 years until Musial died in 13. That is spoiled. All right. So McGregor gets the win. He goes to 11-9. Here's your player of the game. 8 innings, 3 hits, and 1 strikeout. He certainly would have pitched the 9th if it wasn't for the rain delay. Earl didn't even go through 1, much less a pack for sure. Stanhouse a clean 9th. Gura, 6 innings, 6 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. Mingori, a walk and a strikeout over his 2 innings. And so the Royals, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The Orioles, a run on 6 hits and no errors. I'm that button. Palmer actually threw a 2-hitter against the Red Sox in a shutout on this channel. So I'm going to go back. Lorenzo is subbed again. Thank you, sir. All right. Rest of the day in baseball. Where do the Dodgers play? The Dodgers will be the last game because they play San Diego, and that's the last one on the list. By the way, August 9th, a year before, was the first ball game I ever went to. True story. The Cardinals and the Mets from Shea Stadium. Oh, thank you. All right. Before we done the rest of the day, I read them in order. Before that, I'm going to do a frequently asked questions video tonight. So what questions would you like me to answer on the show? Real ones, not why do you treat me so badly. But first, we'll play the rest of the day in baseball. Cincinnati beats Atlanta. That was a day game. 7-4. Paul Moscow goes to 12-4. Tommy Boggs 4-6. Gary Matthews, his 18th homer of the year in a losing cause. He goes 3-for-4 with 3 RBI. Pittsburgh beats Chicago 9-4. Jim Rooker goes to 10-6. Frank Tavares 3-for-5 with 3 stolen bases. Dave Roberts takes the loss. He goes to 3-9. Cincinnati, by the way, stole 6 bases in their game. Pittsburgh stole 5 in that win over the Cubs. San Francisco beats Houston 3-2 and 10. Gary Lavelle 8-6. Joaquin Andujar with a loss. He goes to 5-6. Bill Madlock goes 5-for-6 in that game, by the way. Detroit beats Texas 3-2. Young with the win. Fergie Jenkins only 8-9 on the year. Steve Kemp 2-for-4, 15th homer of the year, drove in 2. Woody Fryman shuts down the Mets 4-0. Does not go the route, goes 3 hits for 8 innings. Craig Swan takes the loss 12-8. Andre Dawson is 23rd of the year. Milwaukee stuns New York 9-1. They pound out 16 hits. Larry Sorensen is a 20-game winner on the 9th of August. He goes to 20-4. Larry Heisel, 32nd homer, 3-for-4, 2 RBI. Boston beats Cleveland 7-4. Bill Lee doesn't 2-hit it like he did the last time out, but he beats old teammate Rick Wise. Freddie Lynn, 14th homer of the year, 2-for-4, drove in 2. Toronto 6, Chicago 3. Jesse Jefferson goes to 9-6. Minnesota 7, Seattle 2. Roger Erickson 11-12. Glenn Adams is 6th of the year. St. Louis beats Philadelphia. That's a big one, 7-6. They pound out 16 hits. By the way, Milwaukee had 16 hits in their game too. Bob Forsch 11-7. Jim Cott falls to 6-9. George Hendrick with his 13th of the year. Everybody in Ohio, please pass out accordingly. And finally, San Diego 5, the Dodgers 3. Rasmussen gets the win. He goes to 7-4. Rao takes the loss, 10-8. Gene Richards 3 for 3 with 2 doubles. Just to frequently asked questions. Yep. And so the lead is 2.5. And so the standings. By the way, it'll be Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. I'm playing the Phils, and that's now a 1.5 margin. So Montreal 10.5 back. Dodgers with the loss. They play San Francisco, and you will see them next week in one of those games against the Giants. Cincinnati 2.5 back. The Padres 7. Houston and San Francisco 8. Baltimore and Milwaukee with their wins. Baltimore by a half game over Milwaukee, 2 over New York. Boston stays 8.5. And Kansas City has a 1-game lead over Texas because they both lost. What improvements would like to see the baseball sims? Okay. No lead greater than 2.5. That's why I picked this year. And so there you have it. So I'll record that tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the Pirates and the Phillies from the Vet in Philadelphia. Until then, have a good one.